Hi, Julie Russo here, creator of Structures of Equality, where we're making sense of math stories. If you're new to structures, they're a reading comprehension tool that helps students better understand number stories. Before we get started, make sure you remember to subscribe to my channel below. I post weekly videos with actionable tips. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified when they're available. The Math Main Idea Workmat Level 2 can be found on my website under the Resources tab. The Math Main Idea Workmat, there's 3 levels, and level 2 is a little more challenging than level 1. Level 1 provides a lot of scaffolding. Level 2 takes some of that scaffolding away and asks the students to identify the specific math main idea. So there's 2 versions of the level 2 Workmat. One is directions and an example, and the other is a blank one. I encourage you to really take a look at the example, so that you have an idea of how it could be used in the classroom. So the top of the Math Main Idea Workmat Level 2 is a blank box. This box is fillable. This particular example says, John has some money. He has $10 less than Sue, who has 96. How much money does John have? That's a really challenging story for students. So the Math Main Idea Workmat helps them kind of walk through what's happening in the story. So does the story have a character is the first thing, and they would fill out, yes, John and Sue. Is there an action or verb in this story? There's really no physical action. If you want to, you can talk to them about the word has, perhaps. Does the story have a setting? There's really none specified. If you want to, you can have them speculate what the setting might be. And then what's the unit or the thing we're counting or comparing? And I tweaked this one from level 1 because you could present a story that has a comparison main idea, or a story that has a main idea of groups coming together, or groups being total being decomposed into parts. So what's the thing? We're counting. Unit we're counting or comparing. And in this one, it's money or dollars. And I would accept either answer as correct. So then the next box is different from level 1. The next section says, what does the math main idea of this story describe? Check the box next to your answer. So there's 2 choices. One choice is composing parts, groups, sets, or amounts to form a total, or decomposing a total into parts, groups, sets, or amounts. The other one is comparing 2 distinct sets, groups, or amounts. This is the most challenging part, I think, of Structures of Equality, is really understanding the situation occurring in the story. We have to encourage students, and as educators, we have to understand the situation too before we can draw the right structure of equality. So this particular line right here really encourages students to think about what is the relationship, what's the situation, what's the math main idea occurring. And in this story, this example story, we are comparing 2 distinct sets. So if they understand that, they know they need to draw a comparison structure of equality. So then the next thing they have to do is describe the math main idea. So the story, the sentence starter says the math main idea of this story describes, and then the students have to finish the sentence, comparing John's dollar amounts to Sue's dollar amounts. Pretty specific. So if the students can do all that hard work, they understand, they can comprehend what's happening in the story. They understand there's a comparison relationship. They understand the 2 things that are being compared in the relationship. They understand the things we're counting in the story. So then the next thing they need to do is draw or build the structure of equality used when a story describes this math main idea. And we already know at this point that if it describes a comparison relationship, we're going to use a compare structure of equality. So the examples here on this sheet, and you can see it has labels, which are money, and John, which is in parentheses because that's not the thing we're counting, and Sue, that's not the thing we're counting. Sue has the longer bar. Wonder why Sue has the longer bar? Well, the story says John has some money. He has 10 less than Sue. Ooh. So if John has 10 less, Sue must have more. She must have the longer bar. Tricky stuff. So I said the label can be money or dollars. So I've done both. Out to the left side of the compare structure, you can see a dollar sign. But on the bar itself, I've written money. And then up above, in that blank space, I don't have anything there as the example. It just says 10 less. We're not going to draw something in that space. So after they get through all that work, then they can write their expression or equation in that box below on the left. And then they move to the right and have to answer these questions. Does your structure have a label? Yes. Does your structure have values? Yes. Does your structure of equality have a representation of equality? Yes. So that's where that line of equality comes in. Once you understand that as an educator, then you can go ahead on the fillable one and plug in your own story and then have the students do the exact same thing that we just walked through. I'd love to hear how this document is being used in your classroom. So if you follow me on Facebook or you get my emails, shoot me an email and let me know how it's going. Good luck. If you'd like to explore this idea more, you'll find the link to this resource in the description below.